You're listening to BFM 89.9, the business station. The BFM Breakfast Grille. Top interviews you can't afford to miss. Presented by the CIMB Group.
Good morning, Dr. Ahmad. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning.
Now, can we just start off with you telling us more about the FAA? What are its aims and objectives?
All right. As what you mentioned earlier, that we are responsible into promoting the quality learning within the financial services industry. But specifically, we are to ensure high quality assurance and accreditation practices in accordance with global standard and practices when it comes to the learning program. Secondly, that we are looking into developing and promoting future learning practices and standards for the financial service industry, which includes the development of qualification structure, learning standards, as well as recognition of prior learning. Yeah.
What kind of institutions would require your services?
Basically, we are looking into those providing training or education to the financial service industry. For example, the training institutions, the financial institution training arm, the universities, colleges, or even the professional certification bodies, locally and internationally.
Accreditation is voluntary. What will compel providers to seek accreditation?
Well, when you talk about accreditation, it's about achieving higher standard. And this standard is based on international best practices. Indirectly, that what we are promoting is that when you have high quality learning, it will contribute to high quality people. And indirectly will contribute to your development, growth, and sustainability of the industry.
What is your underlying philosophy? Are you in here to protect public interest, or do you represent the industry interests?
Well, that through our accreditation initiative, our aim is that to promote quality learning within the industry. So what would happen is that when we be able to produce quality talent for the industry, they will be able to serve the public better. In the long run, it will improve the level of services, and you will have a better trust and also acceptance from the public. So as you mentioned clearly just now, is that at the end of the day is for the betterment of the industry as well as to provide better services to the public.
How is the FAA funded? Can you tell us a little bit about your budget size?
Well, we are basically working on the grant given by our stakeholders, in this case, Bank Negara and Securities Commission. We are also working closely with the industry players, whereby through our accreditation activities, they will provide us with some fees, because in this case that we are not for-profit organization. Yeah, so we provide services to achieve the objective of raising the standard within the talent. So we are talking about in the range of 10 million. Yeah.
And what is the cost of accreditation? What kind of fees have to be paid to FAA?
Well, for institution to apply for accreditation, there will be two important stages or processes. The first one, they need to be registered training providers, whereby they need to pay a registration fees for that. Is RM 1,500. Yeah, and subsequently, when they apply for the program accreditation, they have to pay for the accreditation fees, ranges from 1,500 to 15,000 ringgit. Yeah, depending on the size of the program and the duration of the program.
If potential programs have to pay fees to get accreditation, is there an expectation that they would be accredited? Have you experienced any rejections?
Well, we have our what you call it the learning criteria, or what you call it as accreditation standards. That accreditation standard is quite clear, and whereby that in order for an institution or training programs to be accredited, they have to fulfill those requirements. Yeah, unless they meet that minimum requirement specified under our standard, then the program can be accredited. Or else that our accreditation panel members who are coming from industry will be able to provide them with suggestion for improvement. Yeah, so they may not be able to be accredited this time around, but upon the fulfilling of the additional requirement and when they be able to improve their program, then they can resubmit their program for accreditation. It's not just simply you submit your program, immediately will get the accreditation. No, we have to make sure that you fulfill the minimum requirement and standards before the program can be accredited.
So in that period of consultancy, the institution does not pay any fees?
No, they will not. And we will even provide them very detailed feedback, which include what are the conditions that they have to fulfill and the areas of improvement, right from the way how they design the program, how they develop the program, and up to how they deliver the program. So indirectly, they will get a very comprehensive feedback, not only from the subject matter expert locally, but also internationally.
A lot of your participants right now would probably come from the banking sector and for the purposes of their in-house training. Are there any commercial institutions that come to you?
Well, we do have even training providers coming outside Malaysia. For example, the Chartered Institute of Securities and Investment, United Kingdom. They are the commercial training providers based in London. Yeah, of course, majority, as you mentioned, majority of our clients are the financial services industry themselves.
What I meant was that the financial industry participants actually come to you for their in-house training programs, but are there entities that come to you to accredit programs for selling it commercially outside of their own firms?
Yeah, there are.
Okay, so would it be fair to assume that these commercial programs can continue to make money without any accreditation?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, that our accreditation is not compulsory; it's voluntary. Yeah, so we encourage whether you are commercially based training providers or it is for your own development. Yeah. So we open to all the providers, yeah, because at the end of the day, even if you are coming from the commercial side, you serve the industry, you provide your program to the industry. So the industry also will indirectly benefit. Why? Because they get a better, high quality learning program given to their employees.
Can you give us an example of what are the courses that you have accredited, and also what is the pipeline of programs getting accredited right now?
Well, so far that we have accredited more than 70 programs, yeah, which include wealth management program, the banking related program, credit program, risk management program, and we also have program like the Islamic finance related program, yeah. So in total that we have more than 70 programs. And in the pipeline that we have some other program which may be also include the technical and non-technical program. The technical is just the main stream for the financial service industry, but for non-technical that like corporate governance, leadership, that kind of program also in the pipeline.
Bank Negara and the Securities Commission have requirements for continuous professional education and development. Since the FAA is backed by Bank Negara and SC, do they make it compulsory for these programs to get accredited?
Well, that is always we are recommending to the industry for the program, irrespective whether it's for the purpose of CPD or CPA or even for the internal training to be accredited. Yeah, the whole idea is that the industry players, or particularly those professional involved in that particular area, will have a proper structured learning that will benefit them in terms of their level of skills, knowledge, and the efficiency level. So we don't make it compulsory, but that is what we are supposed to aiming for, that will contribute to better quality of talent practice in the industry.
But in order to boost the success of FAA, the Bank Negara and the SC are in a position to make accreditation mandatory, right? Are they?
Well, I don't think that we are going for that direction. I think what is important is that the partnership between our initiative and the industry. and we would like to encourage the industry to see the benefit of this initiative. Because at the end of the day, they are the one who will be directly involved, and they are the one who will directly benefit from this exercise. Yeah? It's not so much we talk about regulators per se. Yeah, it is the joint effort between our initiative and the industry players. If you want to sustain the industry, this is the way forward.
So you're going more with the persuasive route rather than the compulsion
yes,
route.
that is more effective and more, I think, appropriate. Yeah.
Talent development has been flagged as a crucial challenge to overcome in order to develop the finance industry. What are the problems in developing human capital do you see in finance, and what can be done? What more can be done?
Well, I think as far as the talent is concerned, we have an issue of always a mismatch between what we produce and what is expected by the industry. Yeah. I think that there must be a concerted effort between the institution of higher learning in the industry, working together in producing more relevant graduates for our industry. The participation of industry people working together with university in designing their curriculum, in delivering the learning in the institution of higher learning is very crucial. But at the same time, that we would also hope that a proper training is given to our graduates within the industry, because how would you expect someone to gain a good experience without a proper learning or experience, the real one, hands-on?
But isn't it the case that the graduates would already have come from an institution where accreditation is already assumed?
Well, when you talk about accreditation of the academic program, they are looking in slightly different from what we are doing. They are very much looking into the curriculum or the delivery of the curriculum, the quality of the lecturers, but the issue is just very much on the practical aspect of that curriculum or the program. So this is where we come in, so that with the interaction between us and the institution of higher learning, that somehow could reduce the gap, in meeting the expectation of the industry. So we would like to see that at least 30% of the content or the way how you deliver the program at the institution of higher learning be able to meet the requirement of the industry. So I think that is very crucial. Yeah. Secondly, that we also would like to enhance the way how we train our people within the industry. Yeah, there should be a proper or systematic structure for the learning. Learning is not just about new knowledge, about new skills, but how you practice that skill, how you implement or apply those knowledge in the real working environment is very critical. That's why our principle of accreditation, we are looking at not only the way how you design, develop, or even deliver the program, but as well as how that skills, knowledge can be practiced at the workplace. Yeah.
On the Breakfast Grille this morning is Dr. Amata Mansho of the Finance Accreditation Agency. He's the CEO. We will take a break now, and when we come back, we will continue the discussion on talent.
BFM 89.9, the business station.
Dr. Ahmad, you are academically quite accomplished with doctorates in business administration and also philosophy, and you bring with you 20 years of experience in the areas of business management and personnel development. What is your view of the level of competence in the financial industry today?
Well, that it is a lot of things that we need to improve. Yeah, although that we can see that we are progressing very well towards the so-called high-income nation and developed country. But I think what we need to focus now is that the three things. Number one is that to have a proper structure for the learning and development for talent in the industry. Could be the way how you design and deliver the program, could be the qualification that we need to enhance so that it will somehow support the long-term development and growth within the industry. And thirdly is that we should be very sensitive to the benefit or to the impact of quality learning to the bottom line of the business. This is very critical, because if we cannot link or cannot see the relationship between quality learning and the business outcome, then it is very critical. It is very problematic in order for to achieve the objective of high income or even developed countries in near future.
Well, the subprime crisis, the memory of that is still very fresh in our minds, and that was due to certain unethical practices of selling housing loans to people who couldn't afford it. And today, I think Bank Negara is also getting concerned about the level of household debt, and they've recently reversed some of the developers' interest-bearing scheme. Do you think Malaysian customers, financial services customers, are well protected enough? And do you think they are being serviced by competent service providers?
Well, I think in our environment now is that we are lucky that our regulators are very concerned about the public. Yeah, so that's why I think as far as the regulators are concerned, they have introduced a lot of measures to make sure that we protect the interests of the public. But having said that, what important is that the competent people working in the financial industry need to be improved further in terms of how they should service the public. I think three things again are very critical for our people that working in the financial service industry, that when we provide the learning or the training to them, the philosophy of learning or training is very important. It's not only the technical competencies, but the way how you carry yourself, how is the ethical values should be the priority when come to your services
so
to the industry.
Part of what you do is based on your so-called FAA Quality Framework. Can you talk a little bit about that? How many years did it take for you to come up with it, and what did it cost?
Well, the Accreditation Quality Framework is actually a framework that provide specific pillars or component of quality in learning. So there are 9 pillars that are supporting the quality framework, which include your vision, mission. It could be your curriculum design development, your training personnel, your resources, and so on. And all these pillars that support, at the end of the day, the quality program or learning that you want to produce or introduce within your institution. So through this quality framework, it also help the industry to identify what are the critical areas or components in learning in order for you to produce quality talent. We took more than a year to develop this framework after we have done international benchmarking exercise from Europe, Asia Pacific, Asia, and so on.
And as far as the process of accreditation is concerned, what is involved? Do you conduct interviews? Do you attend actual lectures that are being conducted by your clients?
Well, basically there are 4 important steps involved in accreditation. Number 1, after the submission of the learning program, then our panels will review the submission, and upon the assessment evaluation of the programs, site visit may happen. Observation also may involve. And after which the final assessment will be done by our independent panel members. Upon the recommendation by panel members, then we will award the accreditation.
You have also left open the possibility of FAA becoming an international organization. Isn't that a very tough mountain to climb?
That is something that we are working now, and which so far we are very pleased to inform you that we have a very good feedback from other players outside Malaysia, particularly in Europe, in UK in particular, and also in Middle East. So I think with this interaction and this with the quality of framework and standard that we have, I believe that we can achieve that soon.
Can you highlight some specific trends in professional financial education globally?
Yeah. Well, there are few emerging trends that I think is important now within the financial industry. Number one is competency-based, whereby that you need to have a specialized knowledge in order for you to perform your task effectively. Secondly is that the promotion of lifelong learning. The learning won't stop after you have completed your study. Thirdly is the blended learning approach, whereby that, is the interaction between the practical aspect and also the theoretical aspect. These are the three important trends in learning, particularly in the industry.
Are there any specific areas like, say, for instance, wealth management, Islamic financing?
Yeah, as far as the areas concerned, corporate governance is one of the important area. The compliance, in particular with anti-money laundering issues, and of course Islamic finance, because Malaysia is the center for Islamic finance. So we are promoting very much on the accreditation of Islamic finance program, so that the program can be applied in other jurisdiction.
There are two commercial entities on your board. What kind of value do they bring to FAA? Are they in a position to influence policy that would be consistent with their own commercial objectives?
Well, I think the most important contribution from their side is very much on sharing the latest practices and trend when come to the learning. Yeah, because it's very important as the standard, as the accreditation body, it's very important for you to know what are the latest practices or issues surrounding the industry.
Dr. Ahmad, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Julian. Yeah.
All the best to you. That was Dr. Ahmad Mansho, Chief Executive Officer of the Malaysia Finance Accreditation Agency, on this morning's Breakfast Grille. I'm Julian Ng, BFM 88.9.
The BFM Breakfast Grille was brought to you by the CIMB Group, Southeast Asia's leading universal bank. BFM 89.9